It's my pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome you and our team supporters to this auspicious occasion marking the 67th birthday of our leader, the Grand Commander of Colloquium movement worldwide, the iconic political figure in Nigeria's political experience, doubtless grassroots mobilizer, engineer Dr. Abi Musa Kongosu, the one's representative, Federal House of Representation, the one's Governor of Kano State, the one's Minister of Defense, the one's Governor of Kano State for the second time, and the presidential candidate under the platform of our great party, NNPP. You are welcome to this very important occasion. Without wasting much time, may I call on Sheikh Abdullahi Wesu to have the opening prayers, please. Sheikh Abdullahi Wesu, in the absence of Sheikh Abdullahi Wesu, may I call on the chairman, state chairman, NNPP. Sorry, may I call the national chairman, Abakau, please, to open the prayer, national prayers, please.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ومن يتق الله يجعل له مخرجا ويرزقه من حيث لا يحتسب ومن يتوكل على الله فهو حسبه إن الله بالغ أمره قد جعل الله لكل شيء قدير ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. صلوا على النبي الكريم. We pray that this occasion will be successful in respect of our leader, Senator Rabiu Musa Kongosu, who actually got Almighty Allah made him to attain a very beautiful and a fruitful and useful years. So we wish you more years ahead. Alhamdulillah, thank you very much.
Sheikh Abdullahi Wesu ya matso kusa, mai girma Sheikh. Sheikh Abdullahi Wesu ya matso kusa, ya zo kan high table. Now, the next on the program is National and Colloquium Anthem. The National Anthem first, please. Play the National Anthem.
Aka dora a haka tun da ranar nan take kalluwa. Ranar nan take kalluwa haka ga ya kan fara.
Anthem, please. Play Colloquium Anthem. Colloquium Anthem. Now, it's all right. It's all right. The theme of this occasion is human capital development and socio-economic transformation of Kano State. Human capital development. as a prerequisite for socio-economic transformation of Kano State. It's my pleasure, therefore, to invite the chairman of this colloquium, 5th colloquium, in person of Professor Aliyu Babaladebu, to have his address in 5 minutes. Professor, please. Professor Aliyu Babaladebu.
wannan masu waya tura su kawai ku ya kamata ku musu magana yana mai saboda ko mana ko kai ku musu magana ba sai kai ko mana live yake yalla ya kamata live yake za ka bata mana aiki live yake aiki wannan san da mutane ne ka za ku musu magana ku jana ka musu magana mun zo kuma fara live hanya martaba aikin har kullum ba sa martaba aikin ba sa martaba za kuma ka zo kana nan thank you very much Allah ko dan ya kuma zai tare ne wannan sandan ya wannan sandan ya rufe mun fuska sa domin ka wani wai da ka dan matsa mun ko kusan takalmin wannan
daga filin nan dan na dan annabi kuma a bada waje a bada haɗin kai advisors social advisors na mai girma da babban gwamnan Kano da waje ta an ware musu da su zauna commissioners su ma ga waje ta an ware musu zauna da Allah da annabi security agents a kiliyaran waje
Sadiq ina Naziru yana ofis zai hana labari ke bai taho ba
da Allah da annabi a je a zauna kuma a bada waje It's my pleasure to welcome the Executive Governor of Kano, Engineer Abba Kabir Yusuf, the right governor at the right time, in the right place, with right policy. You remain as governor, inshallah, and remain as governor for the second time again, inshallah. Yet, we also need to be sufficiently strategic and calculated to sustain this victory, to learn to manage this victory in the face of political hostilities and blackmail. May God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, see you through. Now, Professor Aliyu Babanabeku, you have 5 minutes, please, to have your address. Thank you so very much.
The Executive Governor of Kano State, Engineer Abba Kabir, His Excellency Dr. Rabi Musa Gombasu, the celebrant, the Chairman NMPP, members of the House of Assembly here present, members of the Kano State House of Assembly here present, members of the Executive Council, Kano State here present, eminent presenters and discussants, members of the press, ladies and the celebration of the 67th anniversary of the leader of the Concosia group, Musa Konkosu. Now, as a professor, I think I want to interject the program. A lot of the issues that are going to be discussed are going to be on the tangible issues that our leader has been able to accomplish in this, what I consider, very short period of his life. I said very short because in March this I turned 70 years. So I know what it means to be 67, and I know what it means to be 70 years. Now there are issues I want to raise, I think, for our benefit. Number one is the fact that I'm sure all of us can recall this country we've had leaders who are still celebrated. Throughout history, there are very, very few leaders that are celebrated when they are alive. So Rabi Musa Konkoso should consider himself a very, very rare commodity. We always talk about in a very lovable manner our leaders such as Dono of Sokoto, Tafawa Balewa, but all these became revered when they were gone. But here we are when you are alive, we are celebrating. This is a very, very rare occasion. I'm sure there are students of history here amongst our presenters who can highlight more on this. So I want Your Excellency to reflect on this very rare privilege that you have. The second issue I want to raise is that as far as celebration is concerned, continue to celebrate. But we must consider that we are building a society. And building a society requires continuity. I will say in no uncertain time, all of us believe that Rabi Musa Konkoso is not going to remain forever. One day you will be no more. And it is therefore important for us to really begin to define what is it that makes Rabi Musa Konkoso. Why is he trusted by our youth? Why is he trusted even by enemies? I think we need to unravel this. And certainly, I know that when he talks about his history, he's going to mention Boris Abod in primary school. Well, let me tell His Excellency that I'm a premier student of government secondary school. So I was there when you were there. So certainly I can discount that factor. So why is it I've not been able to command such high following? So certainly not only was a factor, there are certainly other factors. And for us to succeed as a society, we need to define this. Master of ceremony, the second factor is really the Konkosia ideology. What it is about the Konkosia? What is the Konkosia ideology? And I think we need to define what it is. So in order not to pass my 5 minutes, I want to challenge the presenters, the discussants, and myself inclusive, to say that from today, I think we should come up with a curriculum. Already Musa Konkoso and the Konkosia ideology on the other. And the reason I'm saying this is that if we want to build on this section, he has shown us the light. He's not going to continue holding the torch. One day it has to drop down. So we have to find the process. How do we create another Rabi Musa Konkoso? So having said this, Your Excellency, I want to congratulate you on this milestone. I wish you many more years. I wish you good health. And I want all of us, members of the Konkosia group, to continue to persevere. We can't change the society without challenges. The few things we are seeing are just minor digression. We are going to overcome them. And I want to assure His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kano State, that the vast majority of people in Kano State are behind you. They are praying for you. There is no need for you to shake. We are going to succeed. So having said that, I want to thank the organizers once again for giving me the opportunity. I wish I had more time to really dive into this issue. And I still want to challenge our leader to really reflect on this. That he cannot continue to be alive forever. So whatever secret he has, he must tell us. Thank you. I wish you happy birthday once again.
Thank you very much for the timely presentation and address. The first address is going to be taken by Professor Murtala Sabo Sagagi, and he's presenting on human capital development and socio-economic transformation of Kano State. May I crave the indulgence of the attendees, please, to be quiet, for we are going to learn a lot from this exposition. Professor Sagagi, please be on the podium. Professor Sagagi is a professor of business administration by University Kano, a professor of international repute, eloquent, exposed, and intelligent mind. You are welcome. Thank you.
Your Excellency, please permit me to stand on the existing protocol so that we will save time. Jama'a assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. I'm not surprised when I was called some few days ago to come and talk about human capital development as I see it in Kano State, and how that can also affect socio-economic transformation of Kano State. I'm not surprised. I remember 2 years ago, I think around 2 years ago, I was in Lagos attending a very important meeting of academics, and scholars from southwestern part of Nigeria kept asking me about the secret of Kano State in pursuing education and putting agenda and effort to make sure that education is promoted. What is the secret? I told them I don't know. There and then, I called Senator Engineer Rabi Musa Konkoso and handing over to them, and I believe he has already explained that very well to them. And from there, that's when some of them agreed that this is the best person as at that time to be the president of this country, because it is believed that infrastructure is very important, health is very important, economy is very important, but you cannot have all these important elements of the society without having educated societies. So that's why I feel emphasis of Kano State government in fostering education is really, really laudable. And I think we need to continue to pursue this. So my paper is not to celebrate what Kano State has been doing over the years, but to also pinpoint some of the areas that we need to start strengthening and some of the new things that we should be doing. It is important to note that despite the fact that Kano State has made remarkable progress in educating its citizens, but we are still below the national average. The national average, based on the 2023 recent figures I have seen, is around 47%, while Kano State is still around 43 or thereabout percent. And I think we need to do more, especially in education, in primary and secondary school education, especially in the rural areas. It's very, very important. And I think the state government also needs to pay a lot of attention in the issue of out-of-school children. For everyone that has looked around Kano State, whether within the city or at the outskirts, you will not help but to notice the army of young people roaming the streets without anything to do and without school to go. And I think it is time for Kano State to start paying serious attention to this over the next decade, so that Kano State will be one of the sanitized places and at the same time one of the places with the least out-of-school children. Another important thing we need to consider, and I think Kano State is really forefront in this, is focus on higher education. 5 years ago, we had only 3 universities in Kano, but today, Kano State is one of the leading states in Nigeria in terms of the number of universities, both public and private. And I think we need to continue along this spirit, creating more higher institutions, not only universities, polytechnics, colleges of education. And the interesting thing today is that Kano State also is having a lot of private schools that are training people on health care system and management, which is also very, very important. But we need to also bring other specialization based on the comparative advantage of Kano State. There is no time, so I cannot go through those comparative advantages. And another area which I think also Kano State should pay a lot of attention is to link the skills that we are developing with jobs. Your Excellencies, Kano State is having one of the highest number of unemployed. And we are also ranked as those that are really having a lot of people who are poor. I don't think with about 63% of, which is above national average of industrialization and also friendly environments to really run business, Kano State, we have no business is registering this high number of unemployment, and at the same time, we don't deserve to have this number of poor people. But the problem is, we have not been over the years to link our education system with the industry. And I think His Excellency, and I'm saying this with confidence, last month I was called by the Ministry of Commerce and Industries that His Excellency has already given them marching order to look at the commercial and industrial policy of Kano and revive it because he wants to implement. I really felt very, very good on that. So this is one way of marrying some of these skills we are developing with the opportunities that we have in agriculture, opportunities we have in the markets, opportunities we have in many, many facets of the economy. The problem we are going to face is the more we educate people, especially higher education, everybody has seen what has happened. The Nigerians are celebrating what Kano State has done, I think on Thursday and Friday. We have seen an army of young girls and boys moving out of Nigeria in search for higher education in other places in the world. This is remarkable. 1,001 is very good, but we are looking forward to see more than 10,000 people being taken to a number of institutions within and outside Nigeria. But I must say this, it is not sustainable for Kano State as a government to continue to handle that responsibility alone. And that's why my final remark is, we need to sit down and create a strategy that would bring all the stakeholders so that we can have consensus as to what skills must we develop, how long, and at the same time, what industries are we going to create in order to absorb these young men and women that we are really creating. We need to bring private sector, we need to bring a lot of sons and daughters of Kano State who have made it within and outside Nigeria to come and support the effort of the government in trying to build the capacity of our citizens. And I think when we have this collective agenda, where we say this is where we want Kano State to be in the next 10 years, in the next 20 years as far as human capacity is concerned, and this is where we want Kano State to be in terms of industrialization, I believe Kano State is not going to be second to Lagos. And I think this is something that we can do. And I'm going to end by saying that Senator Engineer Dr. Rabi Musa Kwankwaso, he has done it, to be honest with you. He has really done it. I don't think him sitting here, he has anything to benefit from this crowd and from all the things we are doing. He doesn't have anything to benefit from that. He is now in the space in his life where he is simply interested in giving back. So Nigeria, Kano has already invested in him. And Kano State has made him who he is today. What he's trying to do now, from now to when God wanted him to join his paradise, he wants to say, what can I do to give back? And Your Excellency, we are here to help you in trying to bring those policies, programs, and all the agenda you need in order to make sure that we build the capacity of the people of Kano State so that Kano State will be reckoned with within and outside the country. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Professor Murtala Sabu Sagagi, for the exquisite exposition of the true fact of the matter. By his submission, Kano State is below national average in terms of education and industry. Inshallah, this government is capable of facing the problem head on. May I please call on Professor Umar Abbas as one of the discussants, the first discussant, Umar Sakir Abbas, to come and discuss the topic. Please, Professor, be as brief as possible. You have 10 minutes within which to make your own discussion. Umar. Sheikh Abdullahi Wais, you are welcome to this very, very important occasion. You are welcome, Sheikh. Professor Umar Abbas. Not 9 minutes, not 11 minutes, 10.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi. Muna yi wa kowa sani da zuwa a wannan guri saboda dalilin shugabanninmu, jagororinmu, da madugunmu da 'ya'yansa da jikoki. Sannunmu da zuwa. Ne mana fatan alkhairi, Allah ya maimaita shi. Allah ya maimaita shekaru linkin ba linkin. Kafin mu fara abinda sana na baya ya faɗa, zan yi ɗan tsokaci kaɗan. A yi haƙuri daga Department of Nigerian Languages na taho. Da haka zan yi da Hausa, saboda shi ne yaren Kano don kowa ya gani. Da farko muna yi wa jagora murnar cika shekara 67 a duniya. Okay. Wanda ya magana ya gama ya yi magana da harshen turanci kuma ya kawo abubuwa iri daban-daban wanda za a ciyar da Kano gaba idan aka yi amfani da su. Dan tsokacin da zan yi shine wanda da aka ce wa jagora ko wanda aka ce wa madugu, to tafiyar ta gaske ce tun farkon fari. Sunan lida jagora, sunan lida madugun tafiya, kuma tafiya ta yi kyau, so far so good in ji Bature. Allah ya bada sa'a, Allah ya sa a gana baɗin bada da lafiya. Gwamnatin Kano kuma Allah ya taimake ta. Bahaushe ya ce kowa ya da kyau don kansa, da madugu da 'ya'yansa da sauransu ana ƙoƙari a bar legacy a baya, abinda za a bar wa al'umma. Mai magana wanda ya zo ya magana ya tafi ya ce madugu yana so ya yi wa Kano da al'ummar Kano, ni na ƙara da al'ummar ƙasa baki ɗaya jagoranci akan alkhairi, saboda ya je ya tadda aljannarsa wata rana, tunda ko ba jima ko ba dade ana tafe. Amma Allah ya sa ya linka ya fara ganin aljannarsa tun daga duniya, tare da waɗanda suke taimaka masa 'ya'yansa irin su gwamnan Kano da ƙarabansu. Fara'a ne a laya, in ji Bahaushe. Duk alkhairin da suke yi akan development ne ko ci gaba ko mai da Kanawa wani abu a duniya. a fitar da su daga jahilci, a fitar da mu daga jahilci, a fitar da mu daga talauci, a fitar da mu daga harkar daba da kashe junanmu. Za a iya ganin misali a yadda ake sponsor mutane su tafi karatu. Akwai dan talaka da bai san komai ba. In fact, a biyu ke muna da yan security da take yanzu likita ce a Aminu Kano Hospital. Madugu ne ya kai ta aiki ta karatu ta zama likita. Security ce mahaifiyarta. To ga suna an gani kuma ana daɗa gani kuma ana daɗa gani. Akan abin da mai magana na baya faɗa ya ce a samu sana'o'ransu. Kano ba gidan gajiyayyu ba ne. Duk gidan da yake garin Kano yana da sana'arsa da ya gada ta iyaye da kakanni ko da kwa bako ne. Allah ya sa gwamnati ta kalli wannan ta inganta wannan, kowa ya kama sana'a gidansa ya improving ɗinta. Shi yasa China ta ci gaba. A dinga yi da injina, muna da gurin rini, muna da gurin saƙa, muna da gurin ƙira. Wanda ma ba shi da sana'a ya zama cima zaune ya tafi ya yi roƙo, ya zama maroƙi, ya zama mai kiɗa na da, amma ba na yanzu ba, na yanzu masu kuɗi ne. So irin wannan idan aka yi improving sana'o'in da suke cikin gidajen mutane, to za a samu ci gaba. Ba sai an yi creating wasu ba. Duk faɗin Afirka ba garin da ya kai Kano kasuwanci. Idan yau aka ce a zo a yi, Kano yawanci ba Fulani bane, Fulani zuwa muka yi. To amma idan aka ce a zo a yi gasar yin nono kindirmo, Kano sai ta zama ta ɗaya. In aka ce a zo a yi gasar yin gawayi wannan da muke kona a gida, ba sai ka je kasuwa ka siyo ba. A gidanka za mu iya koya ma gawayi ka yi amfana, ba sai ka siya ba, har ma ka siya. So ba Kano ba abin da bai iya ba. Idan aka yi improving wannan kuma akan matakin ake, insha Allah za a kai gaci. Bi iznillahi ta'ala. Muna da teloli, muna da masu kiɗa masu nan. Na ga wani a social media yana cewa mai girma gwamna ya siya masa gangunan kiɗa saboda ya samu ya ci abinci. Allah ya sa mai girma gwamna ya ga wannan, ko da yake sorry PA social media, SA social media ya haƙuri da ni, na yi included. So abinda mai magana na baya ke faɗa shine gwamnati ta kokari ta ƙara kokari akan wanda take yi da, wanda take kokari ta ƙara yi akan wanda take yi da. Duk wanda ya fitar da bawa daga jahilci, Allah shi ma zai haskaka masa. Mun yi tawassuli da aikin alkhairi da gwamnatin Kano da Madugu suke yi. Ya rabbul alamin ne ya duba alkhairin su ya musu alkhairi. Ya rabbul alamin ne ya duba alkhairin su ya shiga tsakanin nagari da mugu. Ya Allah ya duba alkhairin su ya shiga tsakanin mai bada lafiya da mai kashewa. Insha Allah kafin gwamnatin Kano ta gama za a nemi dan daba a Kano komai a rasa. Alfarma Allah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Muna yin fatan alkhairi, Allah ya iya mana. Allah ya jagoranci.
Muna godiya Professor Umar Abbas. The next discussant is Dr. Ibrahim Musa. He's going to further discuss the submission, human capital development and socio-economic transformation. Dr. Ibrahim Musa, please be effective time manager. 10 minutes.
Nan ka da kokari an baka yo gadon Madugu, bari ne kauye muna bar da ka hana tallaka ta su ne an
Our leader, our father, our mentor, Senator Dr. Rabi, happy birthday. Happy birthday, more than Conway. His Excellency the Executive Governor, His Excellency the Deputy Governor, Right Honorable Speaker, members of the Cabinet, elected leaders, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. First of all, I have to put a caveat here. I am qualified to speak about this subject matter. When I received the message from Dr. Kopo Mata that I'm going to be one of the discussants, I hesitated because the message came to me around 11 p.m. today. But despite that, I said, okay, it's an important occasion and it's good to come and try and listen. So I came here prepared to listen to the expert in the field. And my own intention is, after listening to what the experts said,
I'll try as a layman to see if I understand it and I can explain it to you. So in essence, we are talking about human capital and its role in transforming Kano State. If we look at everybody, we are talking about achievement. When we have government, everybody is talking about flyovers, roads, monuments, big infrastructure. And we all agree these are very important and critical to our transformation. They are enablers for the economy. But who are going to use this infrastructure that we are going to put in place? Who are going to use them to transform and build an economy? These are humans. And humans, as already narrated or explained by the UNDP, human capital development is based on education, health, and creating opportunities for shared prosperity. I will use anecdotes and examples here. You remember when Dr. Rabi Musa Kwankwaso came to power in 2011, there were about 3 million out-of-school children in Kano State. But before the end of his second term in office, most of these children have been taken back to school. And that's by no means a small achievement. And one thing you should look at, if you take a child back to school, what are the big problems about learning and learning outcomes? One of the most problems that we are facing here is about a third of a child in Nigeria is stunted and is suffering from malnutrition. And what the Rabi Musa Kwankwaso did to solve this problem was to introduce a school feeding program, which the federal government borrowed from him. He was the first and the only governor that introduced it. And you know how important that is? The World Bank stated clearly that if we are able to solve the problem of malnutrition in children, we'll be able to improve the GDP of Nigeria by about $30 billion. So this is a huge area and it's a very big achievement. And by introducing that school feeding and uniform, you are retaining these children in school, you are also improving their cognitive capacity. Because one of the problems of malnutrition is it affects the brain, as Bill Gates told Nigerian leaders. These are the children of the future that will grow and unable to learn anything because they are suffering from malnutrition. But the state government take away that responsibility and the governor introduced that policy, and that policy today is the only policy everybody is reproducing all over the country. And we look at it, one of the other problems that we are suffering in this part of the world is having people that are beggars who begging in the street. And some of these children, because they lack access to schools and education. And we understand the fundamentals that we want to learn Quranic education. And Dr. Rabi Musa Kwankwaso introduced Quranic schools and Islamic schools in each and 44 local governments of the state. And the implication of that in the near future, if we utilize that, if there was no truncation in that policy, by now we wouldn't be having Al-Majiris roaming the street. They'll be sitting comfortably in school, learning Quranic education while learning new skills that they can be productive. Because among these Al-Majiris that you see, there are geniuses that could even create a rocket somehow if they are given the opportunity. Another area that we should look at is in terms of health. You need a healthy society for it to be able to produce the economy that you're talking about. A lot of children were dying because of what we call childhood killer diseases. As far back as 2011, when Dr. Rabi Musa Kwankwaso came on board, he created the Primary Care Board and created the first tripartite agreement between the Bill Gates and Dangote Foundation and Kano State government. And with that, now we solve most of the problem of individuals, children dying before the age of 5 years. And that is huge because you could see that recently when the vaccination went down, with rate of diphtheria, children are dying. So these are diseases that hitherto because of that policy we have